What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're faith in, because everybody goes through setbacks.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender, your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. Well, I hope everybody is doing well since the last time we hung out. I had a great weekend, Mother's Day weekend, which happens to also coincide with my wife's birthday. So spent a lot of time, with the old lady and just letting her know how much I appreciate her. And, it really got me to thinking, she and I have been married for a little over 10 years now. And it wasn't always easy. It was a challenge sometimes, our own fault, and sometimes completely out of our control. But the one thing that we always had, the ability we've always had, is to communicate. And even when we couldn't communicate, we ultimately would end up finding a way to communicate. And that was such an important part of, or is such an important part of what has allowed us to remain together and be happy and raise an amazing little girl. And for her to see how healthy the relationship is, even though it's not perfect, no relationship is, we have always found a way to persevere, not for the sake of being together, but because we are actually happy to be together. Now, I've been fortunate, but I am in my 40s, and, divorce has become a major part of the storyline among some of my friends and associates, and you never like to see it. No one wants to see it. But it happens. And one of the things that we can do as friends and confidants, as a coach, is to just help to support these individuals that are going through this. And so what I want to do today is not only speak to the people that might be going through a divorce, or even just, a breakup with someone that you've been with for a long time. Doesn't necessarily have to be divorced. You don't have to be married. Maybe you were just together for a while. It's still the same feelings that you feel afterwards for the most part. But also to those of us that can help in supporting the people in our lives that might be going through this in their lives. So I'm not saying that you need to play coach or play therapist, but what I am saying is that if there's any information in today's podcast that you might be able to help implement or share with someone that might be in need, this is a good opportunity to listen and maybe to share this podcast with them. Now, look, I've had my heart broken. I've been in long-term relationships outside of my wife, so I get how difficult this could be. And I don't want to simplify things in any way. But my goal in today's podcast is to help you realize that there are ways to try to construct a certain level of happiness in your life after a divorce or a major breakup. Because it can be a very challenging journey, but it's entirely possible that with time and self-reflection and some self-care, that you can find happiness again. And I'm not talking about through another relationship. I'm talking about through your own existence. Because that's ultimately what you need to do. You need to be able to be happy by yourself before you can ever even think about being happy with somebody else. One of the first things you need to do, really the first thing you need to do, is allow yourself to grieve. You need to give yourself permission to grieve the end of your marriage or this relationship that you were in. Divorce, breakups can be a significant loss, and it's normal to experience, a range of emotions, including sadness and anger and confusion. And you have to allow yourself to feel these emotions without judgment, and give yourself time to heal. If you think you're supposed to be some robot that just lets it all go and just tries to pick up life no, you're gonna be suppressing some trauma, and that's not healthy. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Now, you don't want to sulk in it, and you don't want to let it take over your ability to live a life of happiness, but you want to be able to acknowledge it and feel it. And that way you know how to move forward, because ultimately you know you don't want to be in that place anymore. And one way to really help you through that process is to seek out support. Don't do this all by yourself. Take time to yourself for sure, but you don't have to do it by yourself. Surround yourself with a supportive network of friends, family, a therapist, a coach, whoever can offer some some guidance, some empathy, and that they can encourage you during this very challenging time. Talking to others who maybe have gone through similar experiences can also help in providing validation and reassurance that you are not alone. And there's a lot of groups out there of people that are, divorcees or just out of long-term relationships that come together and they help each other out. Don't be afraid to seek those groups out. Don't let your pride get in the way. If it can help you in your healing, then it's worth it. And you should also make sure that you focus on your self-care. Prioritize it, all right? Prioritize all kinds of self-care activities that nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. And this includes things like exercise, meditation, maybe you journal, spend some time in nature, which is something I love to do. And engage in, what kind of hobbies did you have that maybe you weren't doing anymore, or just engage in them even more now. And the type of things that bring you joy and relaxation. Taking care of yourself is essential for rebuilding your sense of self and finding a level of happiness, knowing that happiness it exists outside of this relationship that you're in. And when you're doing this self-care, when you're focusing on this self-care, this is a perfect opportunity to rediscover yourself. Take this opportunity to rediscover who you are outside of this relationship. Reconnect with your interests and your passions and your goals, the type of things you might have neglected during your relationship. You'd be surprised how much of ourselves we let go of when we're in a relationship, especially a bad one. So embrace this time as an opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery. Do the things that you've always wanted to do. Do the things that you used to do. But just remember to reconnect and rediscover who you are. Now, I think this next idea, it seems self-explanatory, right? It seems obvious, but it's unfortunately something that people struggle with a lot of times when they come out of relationships, especially bad ones, and that's setting boundaries with the ex. You have to establish clear boundaries with this person so you can protect your emotional well-being. And this involves limiting contact with this person. Set these boundaries, whether if it's a divorce and you have kids, whatever, set boundaries around the co-parenting responsibilities and prioritize your own needs and your boundaries in future relationships. Not just this one, but in future ones as well. But don't let these people back into your life in a way that's going to cause you more emotional trauma. And now that you have this freedom, I hate to say it, it's a level of freedom. Maybe, after you do some rediscovery of who you are, start looking for new opportunities in life. Embrace new adventures, right? This is a great time to embrace new opportunities for growth. Again, like adventure and connection. Whether it's pursuing a new career path, maybe you've always wanted to be a nurse or a teacher. This is it. Maybe you want to be a coach. You could pursue new career paths. You can travel to new destinations. Maybe you've always wanted to go to this island or this city, but you've never done it because this other person in your life made it a challenge to do so. Now you got it, right? You could try new hobbies and new activities. Pickleball. Everybody's doing pickleball, But open yourself up to the possibilities that life has to offer. And let me tell you something. The opportunities and possibilities are endless in this life. We're so lucky as we're here right now. You are so lucky that you get the opportunity to do any and everything. Embracing change, man, I'm telling you, that can lead to new experiences and all kinds of new sources of happiness. That's what we want, right? We want you to be happy. And something that's really important is to learn to just, as hard as this might be, just forgive and let go. Practice forgiveness towards yourself, ultimately, and your ex-partner after you navigate, this whole process. Because holding on to resentment and bitterness, this is going to weigh on you. It's going to weigh you down. It's going to prevent you from moving forward and from being able to actually allow yourself to be open to opportunities for happiness. Let go of the past and focus on creating a brighter and happier future for yourself. And the last thing I want to share is focusing on being present. Learn to be present. Instead of dwelling on the past, what went wrong and what could have you done differently or what could they have done differently, or even worrying about the future, right? Am I ever going to find love again? What's going to happen now? Focus on the present moment. Practice mindfulness and practice gratitude. Be happy for what you have in your life that is good. So you can appreciate the small things in life and the small blessings that are in your life right now. And when you cultivate a sense of presence, you will find peace and happiness in the here and in the now. And I know the here and now might feel shitty because you're lonely and the thing and the relationship that you've been in is over, and you maybe you're blaming yourself, you're blaming them, and you think that no. Guess what? You're here, you're right now, you have air in your lungs, and you have opportunity. That is an awesome thing to be grateful for. So yes, finding happiness after divorce or a big breakup, it's a journey that's going to require a lot of patience, a lot of self-compassion, and a lot of resilience. But we're all about making comebacks here. All right? Every setback is an opportunity for a comeback, and damn, comebacks are good. So just realize that things happen for a reason. If you're not with this person anymore, whether you wanted it or not, it wasn't meant to be. So just allow the universe to do its job. You do your part to find happiness, and it's all going to come together. It might be hard, it might be long, but that's life. But the payoff is going to be so damn sweet. So if this is you, or if you know someone that's going through this, remember, it's not the end of the world. It's going to hurt, but it's always opportunity to be happy again. All right, folks, that's all I got for you today. Again, if you are someone that is going through a divorce or a bad breakup, please know that there is always opportunity for happiness in the future. You have to have hope and have to have faith. If you're someone that might know someone that's going through a difficult breakup, just be supportive, be there for them and let them know that, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how long and far that might seem. All right. If you or someone you know would like to work with Coach Vino, you can head over to my website, coachvinollc.com, and reach out to me there. Or if you just want to hang out with me on social media, where I share my love for motivation and libations, you can find me anywhere at coachvinollc.com. And until next time, folks, if nobody else tells you, Coach Vino appreciates you. Cheers.
I find it hard to reveal these thoughts and express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form, but I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just the start of a new beginning. Word.